And Greg Abbott is the new governor-elect of the state of Texas. We have all the highlights from last night's victory party. Your daily update starts now. The concept is very similar to an Uber or a Lyft app. You put in a little bit of information, you push a button, and then a giddy-up ride is on its way. To deal with the influx of students living on campus because of the residential commons, SMU has hired 8 new police officers to bring the force's total to 31. Amber Joy Vincent and Nina Pham both work here at Presbyterian Hospital, where the Liberian National anti-Ebola patient Thomas Eric Duncan was sent and eventually, unfortunately, died. According to a report by the Washington Examiner, most major metro systems, like the DART, have between 1.5 and 5.5 crimes per million riots. Now, I did the math, and it turns out that DART has a very low number, only 1 crime per million riots. Regulars at Lake Bonham say that an accident like this, including a fatality, is rare and can't believe it happened. It's a familiar sight and sound across SMU's campus. Golf carts carry students night and day around in a program called Giddy Up, but the wait times were always very long and the process of dispatching the carts inefficient until now.
Like, the system itself is very slow, very clunky, and very cumbersome on the Giddy Up staff.
SMU junior and computer science major Tom Kennedy is developing an app to cut down on response time and streamline the process of getting a Giddy Up by developing an app for your phone. The concept is very similar to an Uber or a Lyft app. You put in a little bit of information, you push a button, and then a giddy-up ride is on its way. The Engaged Learning Program, which gave Tom grant money for the project, has been funding student ideas for 3 years.
It's a personal, individual, customized project that one student does from the beginning, from the proposal to the end, where they reach their project goals.
In addition to streamlining Giddy Up, the app will, according to some students, make the campus safer.
I feel very unsafe on campus. I normally even have my friend come pick me up in her car. It'll just be easier, so I would actually use it, where the phone call, like I said, I don't use it ever.
The app will start beta testing early next month and is expected to be available by January of next year. For SMU TV, I'm Christopher Saul. As all the dust settles from the last 2 years of construction at SMU, new challenges await the University Police Department. SMU has added 5 new residence halls. The 11 total halls house about 2,500 students, including the 1,431 first years. To deal with the influx of students living on campus because of the residential commons, SMU has hired 8 new police officers to bring the force's total to 31. This increase in police presence works out to about 8 officers per 1,000 students living on campus. Compare that to TCU's 7 officers and UT's 9 officers per 1,000.
I am in favor of increased police presence on our campus, especially with a whole entire class of students that are going to be on our campus this year, especially because there might be some rowdiness. You're going to have a lot more people coming home at night, and you want people to be safe at all times. And I think that safety comes when the police are there watching out for us and just looking after us.
Police Chief Richard Schaefer says what effect the increase of police have on the campus will remain to be seen.
The initial weekend, I would say, was a pretty typical first weekend, with alcohol violations and things of that sort. But I don't think anything drastic.
We'll keep you updated with all the news about the residential commons and the SMU Police Department. For SMU TV, I'm Christopher Saul. The perception of DART, or Dallas Area Rapid Transit, is mixed around SMU's campus.
I hear that it's not as safe as we think it is.
And for me, it's been safe. I'm also a 6'5" guy.
Yes, I felt it was safe, but also I went with a large group of people.
Sometimes, though, perception isn't always a reality.
DART is one of the safest transit agencies in America.
According to a report by the Washington Examiner, most major metro systems, like the DART, have between 1.5 and 5.5 crimes per million riots. Now, I did the math, and it turns out that DART has a very low number, only 1 crime per million riots. 2014's number of violent crimes on DART's rails were similar to 2012's number. It was a different story in 2013, though, when DART had one of the most violent years on its record. Robberies spiked to 121 cases, up from 82 the year before, and cases of theft rose from 466 in 2012 to 528 in 2013. But DART says it's done something to change those numbers.
Our law enforcement personnel have been very aggressive. They've done things like completely swarm a particular station and confront individuals, whereas your past, you have a reason to be on our property.
Ball says another reason for the drop in the crime rate is that people are getting jobs, but the numbers just don't add up. The spike in violent crime in 2013 was not paired with the jump in unemployment numbers that year. Still, DART recovered and continues to be one of the safest transit systems in America. For SMU TV, I'm Christopher Saul.